We're talking about today using the Detailed Teacher's Guide. The Detailed Teacher's Guide was created for people that didn't really have strong teaching gifts, but they want to disciple. It's a discipling tool, and this is the way it works. In your manual, you will find using the Detailed Teacher's Guide, trusting Jesus alone, and I'm just going to read what it says here. Note, the following information may be read out loud, a numbered section at a time, with the person or persons being discipled. After each numbered section is read, pause and ask the question or questions that correspond to the paragraph or paragraphs, and then discuss them. I'm going to show you how that works. Trusting Jesus alone. If you notice, paragraph number 1, it has a little number 1 in front of it, and this is what it says. It says, suppose you were to die tonight and stand before God, and He were to say, why should I let you into my heaven? What would you say? Let us state it another way. What do you think a person has to do to go to heaven? And then you go to the bottom of the page and ask the question. Sally, Johnny, Jim, what do you think a person has to do in order to go to heaven? Just let them answer anything they want to answer. Then you go to the next paragraph that has a number 2 in front of it. According to our survey, most people answer this question by saying something like this. I have to do the best I can, live a good life, keep the 10 Commandments, love my neighbor, etc. Then go to the bottom of the page and ask the question. How do most people, according to our survey, answer the question, what must you do to go to heaven? Well, keep the 10 Commandments, do the best you can, live a good life. Just exactly what I said. Well, then you're along with the majority of people, because that's what a lot of people think they have to do to go to heaven. But let's continue to read and see what paragraph 3 says. So then you have paragraph 3 that has a little number 3 in front of it. And then we will ask the question that has a little number 3 on the bottom of the page. And this is what paragraph 3 says. It is true that if we kept God's laws and commandments perfectly in both our actions and our attitudes, that we would have a righteousness that equaled God's. The only problem is no one has ever done that. There are over 613 commandments in the Old Testament, hundreds of commandments in the New Testament. For a person to be justified by the law, that means to be declared righteous before God by law keeping, he would have to keep the whole law, and he would have to do it perfectly without one slip. The Bible states this, the Living Bible states this. Moses wrote concerning the law that if a person could be perfectly good and hold out against temptation all his life and never sin once, only then could he be pardoned and saved. Now you go to the next question and you ask them to open the Bible to Titus chapter 3 and verse 5, and here's the question. What does Titus chapter 3 and verse 5 say about being saved by our own good works? And you get them to read it. And it says, not by works of righteousness that we have done, but according to His mercy, He saved us. So here's how easy it is to disciple with the Detailed Teacher's Guide. You read the paragraph or the section that has a number, and then go down to the bottom of the page and ask those questions. You read the next paragraph with a number, go down to the number on the bottom of the page and ask the question or questions. You go to the next paragraph that has a different number, and then go down to the bottom and read that and ask the question or questions. And the lesson itself will keep you on track and keep you teaching, and then you just ask the questions and make it interactive. Let me tell you something. This method of teaching is the method that we call cults are using in the world today to disciple probably, 300,000 Bible studies around the world today, because anybody can do it. I asked one time my Charis Bible College students, why can this particular denomination down here, this what you call a cult or a sect, disciple everyone? And over at the quote, charismatic church, only 3 can disciple. They said, well, because there's 3 teaching gifts. And all these people, these 200 people down here, can disciple all over the world. Have they got more teaching gifts? No. The difference is in the method. And they have a teaching tool that their people can use to teach all the nations. And the Detailed Teacher's Guide is a teaching tool that can be used even if a person does not have a strong teaching gift. So I encourage you to get familiar with this, how to use this, to go into those villages, to go into those cities, to go into those apartments or wherever it is, and disciple. Because God, through the Discipleship Evangelism program here, is making a tool available to you to help you not just go through a form of evangelism and never see anybody again, but to actually obey Jesus' command to go into the world and make disciples. God bless you.